Alrighty, back again. Like I said, I'm a big Ford fan. Ford Falcons are my favorite. Rancheros, second favorite. Mavericks, third. Don't own any Mavericks. I own two Granadas and a '69 Ford Falcon. Anyway, um, my brother had multiple Rancheros when I was growing up. My dad had some Rancheros. He had some Mavericks. He had Chevelles, El Caminos, Camaros. Um, he actually drug a. I was 16 years old, and I spent a summer in Florida with my mom. My dad was in Missouri, and when I got home after summer with my mom, my dad let me know that he had bought and sold in the time that I was gone. He had bought and sold several old classic Chevys. He was notorious for dragging Chevys out of the woods, SS's. He used to be a GM mechanic, Chevrolet mechanic and drag racer, and he loved restoring old SS's. Um, I don't know if I've ever shown his old cars, but I've got pictures. Actually, his Maverick drag car is right here. Red, white, and blue. And I had a 306 in it. And I'm the chubby kid. That's my brother, who has passed away, and my dad, who has passed away, and that was one of our neighbors. And we had to take the neighbor with to the drag strip because the drag strip didn't allow minors to go up on the burnout pit and throw water down or bleach or anything. So, yeah. Anyway, I've got other pictures too, Camaros, and actually I don't think the Camaro pictures exist anymore. They might. Yeah, I have some old ones before he started fixing it up. He had a 67 SS 396, 375 horse, Muncie 4-speed transmission, 4-speed, like I said, manual, 12-volt posi, 411 gears. That was a Camaro. And the original color was royal purple. Royal plum. He had a turquoise. Actually, I have pictures of that somewhere. He had a turquoise 68 SS 396 Chevelle convertible with a white top and white interior. Beautiful car when it was restored. He toted that car around for years unrestored everywhere we moved. That car got dragged along. He stored it at a friend's house in a shop for years. The year that he dragged the Nova out of the woods, that was the year he restored the Chevelle. He used the money that he got from the Chevelle or from the Nova when he sold it. And names and words are failing me lately. I'm getting old, I guess. I don't know. It was a Copo Nova 427, and the guy's name, he kind of built them along with Yenko. I can't remember. This car was rotted out, and my dad sold it for thousands of dollars. It was really rare. But yeah, he had the last Chevrolet that my dad restored was not technically a restore project. It was a resto mod. It was a 307 from the factory Chevy Biscayne, and my dad put first it was a 468 big block, and then he stuffed a 502 down in it. That thing would just cruise down the highway at 170 like it was just floating on a cloud. And it was turquoise also. He liked those turquoise ones. But anyway, enough about the old days. I bought this Ranchero and the Hemi Hydro because of my brother. And my brother loved all Ford Rancheros, especially the older little ones. This is the trumpeter, and I did my research before I bought it, and I know it's out of scale technically. It's not. It says it's 125 scale, but it just everything about it seems wrong for 125 scale. When you compare it to other 125 scale cars, it's just a little off. I would say it's more 124 scale, but it's not even 124 scale. It's just different. It's kind of right in the middle. Beautiful kit though, once it's put together. Anyway, I bought this for my brother and the Hemi Hydro boat because my brother loved going to the lake. He was a fisherman, and I'm sure if he ever had a nice boat, he would have loved it. But I was going to build these and give them to my brother in a nice handmade display case. And before I could even really get into building this, he passed away. So I never did any more to it. I selected the big and little tires for it and made a roll bar for it, which is laying right here. The outer hoop of the bar came out of a different kit. I don't remember what, but made that for it. Does fit. Painted the engine block, and the paint didn't come out completely right, which, I mean, when does it ever for me? The engine, I've compared it to every single small block Ford engine, model engine that I have, and it's bigger. This engine would be more along the big block size, the engine block halves, and it's just not, I guess it'd be like 351 Cleveland size when you compare it to other ones. They are just different. Nice detail, but different. So, planned on swapping the engine with a different one, using basically the rest of the kit parts that came with it. I don't know. I just never did anything else with it. It stays in a box. Still dusty. Still dirty for me messing around, doing other stuff around it. All the parts are still here in the box for the most part. 2 dashes. It's got 2 dashes, which is kind of crazy that they did that. Had a lot of extra parts, extra intake manifolds and whatnot. The transmission was put together really weird. Sorry, there's something laying here I'm trying to pick up. Blue rubber O-ring. I have no idea what that's for. I'm planning on building that eventually. This is the single exhaust out of it, and this is the dual exhaust out of it. It has a separate plastic cast belt. Literally came with a cast belt for the fan pulleys and water pump pulleys and everything. Separate cast windshield wipers, which was really nice seeing. It's a really detailed kit. The firewall sides the firewall, the fender wells, and radiator support sides are all individual pieces you have to glue together and then glue them to the subframe. Front clip. The tailgate is 2 pieces. So it's a pretty cool little kit. But anyway, enough about that one. Oh, and I do have one thing I am definitely doing is putting those seats in it. I like those seats in it. Kind of reclined in it. If you knew my brother. Yeah. That man would lay the seat completely flat and drive. I can't drive like that. I sit up where I can see everything. I've had a lot of tickets in the past, traffic tickets. aggressive driving, careless driving, reckless driving, all kinds of stuff like that. Cops cussing me out and bitching at me for offensive driving instead of defensive or stuff like that. And I'm like, man, just get out of my way. Just let me go on down the road. See me come and scoot over or speed up. I'm cool with that. We can run. I didn't say that. Anyway, on to another box, and this is so much right here. This was stress of divorce. I completely dumped it into this model. Stress from divorce. I was going through it, man. Sitting at home, pissed off and fighting my inner demons, I guess you could say. The entire body. I'm not going to pull every single little piece of this out because most of it's kit parts. The rest of this I'm going to leave in here. Okay. So, that engine came out of the Willy's gasser. 33 Willy's gasser delivery thing, panel van. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. So that's where this engine came from. And I wanted to turn that Willy's into a lead sled rat rod, which is where I went with that and never did finish it. But yeah, my divorce was stressful, and I went full on with building stuff for this Jeep. That's the oil pan I was making. I don't know why. I was making like the stupidest, deepest sump oil pan in the world. I could remove the very bottom layer and that very top layer, and it would still be plenty. Anyway, I'm going to throw that back in the bag. The tailgate is hinged. And those are stick pins, or a stick pin. And it's you can see the type of styrene I used for the tailgate. It's the grooved kind. Hold on, let me see what my phone just told me. Okay, I don't know what that was about. Anyway, it's the World War II Jeep grill. The World War II Willy's Jeep grill and windshield frame. That's the only parts from that kit that are here. I'm going to throw that back in the bag. This entire front end is pieces of styrene, this entire straight axle. You can see the stick pins. Fully steerable. The spring mounts are here, and they pinned in with stick pins. The steering link pins in with stick pins, and the links to the body, to the frame, that go here. You can see that hole or mounting point right there on here. Right there. That's where these were going to go, the rods, connecting rods, whatever you call them. One of them broke off, stopped working on it, bagged it up, irritated me. They were going to be cross drilled also, and it was all pinned together. So dropping that back in the bag. This entire body is styrene sheet. I counted when I made it. It was over 30 pieces of styrene. You can see where they're all cut and glued in. inside of it from the rear, from the front. And it was just supposed to be this ridiculous gasser style drag Jeep, drag Willys, modified. The chassis, oh, my bag fell. The chassis, fun times right here. All handmade. Uses the Willys gasser axle. Handmade. Everything else. Engine mounts. Had the suicide spring perch in the front ahead of the grill, which that's the grill, and I gave it some stupid paint job because I was going to paint it white. The white paint did not make me happy, so there is a pin missing here, but if you look, those are handmade springs and they do work. Don't ask me how I did it, but I did it. The links, all of it is handmade and functions. So the springs were out of either clicker pencils or some kind of lighter or something. I have no idea. I don't remember any more of it. That was kind of a Facebook challenge. I've since left all the model car groups on Facebook. There were some things that went along with my divorce, and Facebook groups that made me make a decision to leave all of the model car Facebook groups and anything else. And that was like several years ago. So this just stays in this box. But anyway, I don't do the Facebook model car groups. I'm on 3 different Orlando Hunter RC groups, and I try not to get too active on them. I do post a lot of my stuff there, but alright, I'm trying to keep my videos limited to length because my longer ones, I do have another box over here that I'm going to show what's in it. And it's probably going to be a long video, so, and I won't talk about my dad's cars and stuff in the next one. But anyway, yeah, enough about all that, and I'm going to upload this, delete it, and make one more video tonight.